Okay, so yesterday we discussed this port address translation. Okay, so today I'll discuss the static net. Okay, so actually I also introduced new server here which is in internet. So let me configure the IP address over there. So I'll just wait. I also configure one default gateway. Two dot one. Now I'll go into my ISP router. Let me check the interface. This interface is fast Ethernet 2/0. Interface F2/0. No such. IP address 192.168.4.1 255.255.255.0. So IP interface brief. One ninety two 168 4.1, not 1 4.100. Okay, so I am able to ping my server. Okay, this one. So let me configure the telnet services on this server, also HTTP service. Host name server. Okay, server for HTTP and for telnet. So if we want to enable the HTTP services on this router, we just run this command IP HTTP server. We also need to add one username Cisco, password Cisco, privilege username Cisco, privilege 15, password Cisco. Now I want to enable the telnet service. So for enabling the telnet, I just go into my line VTY 024 login local, and we have lots of commands over there. If we want to configure the access list, so we use that access class. Okay. I also configure the password on my line VTY, which is Cisco. Now I want to configure the enable password here. So for this I need to run this enable password. I'll give the Cisco. Exit. Right, ma'am. When I run this write memory command, so while running this command, basically we are saving our config from running config to startup config. Anyone know what is the port number for telnet? Write on chat box. Yeah. And for HTTP service? Okay, cool, great. So now we have a DMZ server. Okay. So in DMZ, basically we put our servers, which also we need to publicly available for the internet users. Okay. So let me also configure the telnet service on DMZ and also HTTP service over there. Okay. After that, I'll configure the static net so that DMZ server is available to the internet users as well. So I just log in into my DMZ, enable conft. So to configure the telnet, we just go to line VTY 024 login password Cisco. Basically, if we configure the password, up that time it don't give this error message. Okay. So first we configure the password. After that we run this command login. Yes. Yeah, we can use any. We basically we have lots of line VTY. Line VTY. I'll check 02903, that much lines we have. So generally I'll only open 4 lines. In production also we need to open around 4 or 5 lines. So when I use that command line between 0 to 4, so 5 line is open. So that means 5 users can access this device at the same time. Means they can telnet this device. Okay, at the same time only 5 users. We are we are just restricting that users because we don't want like lots of users can access our firewall at the same time and they just make the changes over there. Okay. And then also we have that line between concept in router only. In firewall we don't have that concept. So if I'll go to in my firewall, we don't have any line VTY here, nothing. Okay. So if I need to enable the telnet service in my router, so for this I'll just run this command telnet. Okay, question mark. We can define the IP addresses here. The IP address of the host or the network authorization to log into the system. Means if here basically we add our management network from where we provide the access of telnet service. Okay. So in my case we have these networks like 10 networks which is in inside in DMZ. So I'll use this format here. After that the subnet mask 255 sorry 0.0.0. Let's suppose we are using this 10.0.0.0 network in that head office infrastructure. After that we define the zone from which zone we need to provide the access. So first I want to provide the access from inside zone. Okay. Now I also want this access from my DMZ zone. So I'll add the DMZ as well here. Okay, leave it as DMZ. Okay, if we need to set the password in my enable config mode, so for this I use this command, enable password. This is similar. Okay, after that we can define our password. So I'll generally use this admin at the 123. Okay, here we can also define the level. So I generally define the level for that, which is 15. After that we can also define this encrypted, or generally we can just enter our command here. Let me also add one user here. Username admin password. Let me add the let me use this password for admin123. After that we define the privilege level for this. So I'll use the 15 here because 15 is the highest privilege level. Okay. Now if I want to take the telnet of my firewall from my inside router. Okay, so I'll just go to there, enable. Now I'll just run this command, telnet 10.1.1. IP of my firewall. Okay, so here we enter the enable password, which is admin at the rate 123. Admin, why user access verification? It is not taking the password. Sorry guys, let me stop this. Telnet admin at the 123. Why it is not taking? User management password admin 123, enable password level 15, enable secret. Let me add Cisco. Enter. So run telnet. Telnet 10.255.25.0. Okay. Okay. Not sure why it is not taking this password. We will check. Okay. Let me skip this as of now. I will check. Maybe they will change something in this new version. That's why. Do so run. If we want to see the configuration, what is in our line VTY, so we run this command. Do so run section line. Okay. So I have configured this thing. Okay. Let me also enable the HTTP services, IP HTTP server, and right man. So If we are in configuration mode, so generally we use this write memory with do. Okay, then only it will work. Now let me go to in my firewall and check the net what we have, what kind of net statement we have as of now. So only we have a pet configuration. Okay, so now let me add one static net for providing the access of our DMZ server. Okay, actually I have created this document for you, so where it has like all the combination of net which RASA supports. So I will share with you these documents. Okay, so we are going to configure the static net. Anyone know what is the static net? Why we use? Anyone unmute and tell me. Okay, we use static net for one-to-one mapping of DMZ or inside servers. Okay, so these servers are publicly available. That is the like use of static net. So how we can configure static net? We just go to object, network. I'll just give the name DMZ server net. Okay. After that I'll define, see, if I run the question mark, we can define either the host, either the range, or either the subnet mask. Okay. So right now I'll define only the host here. Host, which is 10.2.2.100. After that I run this command net. Where is my DMZ server? So in DMZ zone. So I'll just call here DMZ. After that, where I want that access for outside user. So here I use the command. Here I put the outside keyword. Outside. After I just press the question mark. Okay. We have a static here keyword. So we use this static keyword. And we can define the mapped IP address, means here we can just define the public IP address on which we want to host this server. So 192.168 1 dot, let's suppose 100 or 150. Okay, if we want to define that services we can, but right now I am just defining for all services. Okay, I don't want to go with a specific net exit. Write memory. Let me remove the talent configuration. I don't want. Okay, so here we have a format, right, for AutoNet. This is the format net. Then real interface. Real interface means where our server is available really. Okay. The mapped interface means on which interface we are just doing the translations. After that the keyword. After a map IP address or object or interface. After that, we can also use the service. It is optional. Okay. So now let's suppose this is my server. Okay. This, or you can also consider as an internet user. So this server want to access our DMZ resources. Okay. So if I go to in this server, and I'll just run this command telnet, and I'll give the public IP address 192.168.1.150. It is not working. Anyone? What? Why it is not working? Any reason for that? Anyone know? See, we have a security level 50 here. Sorry, 100 here and 50 here. So from higher security level to lower security level, by default all traffic is allowed, right? So from DMZ to outside, all traffic is allowed, and from inside to outside also all traffic is allowed. But the thing is, what happened? From lower security level to higher security level, nothing is allowed. If we want to allow this traffic, then we need to open a access list there. Okay. So let me open the one ACL in my firewall. I already have one access list, so I'll just modify this ACL only. I will teach you how we can configure the access and all that. So as just now, access list out permit TCP any to 10.0.0.0 network and the 255.255.255.0. So run. We already have applied this access list in my outside interface. Okay, that ACL means anything, means any source. Anyone can access the 10 network from outside. That is the meaning over the port number TCP. That is the meaning of this ACL. Okay. Now if I run this command, let me also check. So exit. We have a mapping there. So 10.2.2.100, which is 192.161.5. Okay. Ping 10.2.2.100. I think I did not configure the IP address on DMZ yet. Do so. IP interface in brief. Yeah. Okay. So let me configure the IP address. IP address 10.2.2.100 255.255.255.0. No such. Exit. I am able to reach. So let me again run this command here. So access list out access outline action connection is timed out. Okay. ping 192 168 1.250. Let me ping the outside interface of my firewall. Yeah, I am able to reach there. Access list outline. Why it is not getting the access? So exilate. Let me show you one command input outside. This is the command which we use for troubleshooting the issues. The command name is packet tracer. Input outside. After that we can define the port number, which is TCP. Enter the source address. So let me give the source address is 192.168.4.100. Port number 1234 any, and the destination is 192.168 1.150 on port 23. Type on net. Access list is denying. Okay. So if we run this command, we can get the idea on which, like, what is the reason for this, that traffic is denying. Okay, I will teach you these packet tracer command, and there is also one capture command which we use for most of the time. So I have a problem in my access list. Okay, so run access list out. So let me just modify the ACL. Okay, I'll just remove this statement. Access list out permit TCP. I'll just add any. So now if I want to again verify it, it will work or not. So I'll run again this command, packet tracer. Now it is allowing, right? So we can verify by using the packet tracer command. That is the like powerful tool for verifying that, or for troubleshooting the any issues in our network. This time I definitely get the access. And it is showing me this one. Why I don't know. Remote host is not responding. Download 2.2.250. It is pinging. Run line bty. Sorry. Hey God. I have enabled the telnet service. enable password. Also I'll put the Cisco. At the same time, let me go to my ISP. 192.168.1.180. So exit. So interface IP in brief. Let me check the name of configuration. This is my outside. Okay. Not have any net control statement. Let me do one thing. Let me remove this statement first. After that, I will put it again. Maybe there's a problem with order, but you don't face this issue in production. But I'm running the BM image, that's why. In BM, generally, we can sometimes we get this type of issue. Subnet 0 0 0 0 0. After that, this statement. If I again run show run net command, now this rule have more preference over the pat rule. So let me again show exit. We are getting the exit entry here. 10.2.2.100. Also ping is working. Mm-hmm. 192.168. 1.150. Access list out. Yeah, access list also hitting. Yeah, this see hits is increasing every time. The general confusion naturally sealed off. Okay, let me also add one pet rule here for DMZ network as well. So run object. This time I include all both of my interface, so I'll use the keyword any here. Okay, we can use any means we are including the inside in DMZ dynamic interface. I can ping the outside 192.168.1.1. Oh, got it, man. Got it. What is the issue? So IP route. We don't have any routing. Sucks, man. IP route 0.00000.10.2.2.250. Now this time if I run this telnet, it is getting the access. Okay. So I'll get the DMZ access from the internet. So that is the way to configure the static net. Okay. So let me show you the configuration once again. So run net and also write here. I am also going to write the config here. Object network DMZ server. Okay. After that I'll write my DMZ server IP address, which is I'll just use the host keyword here 10.2.2.100. After that I'll enter my net statement DMZ to outside static. Then the mapped IP address, which is 192.168.1.150. That is the like way to configure the static net. So let me I'll got one website where these net is they explain net in a like very nice way. So let me take the example of these website. Okay. Net. Okay, this is the diagram. How net will work in Cisco SA firewall. So let's suppose we have an inside server which is 172.16.30.15. We have the firewall. This is the inside interface and this is the outside interface. And this, let's suppose this is the like end user in the internet. Okay. So now what happens? This users want to access this web server. Okay. So this is the private IP address. Okay. So if we want to provide the access of this server to internet users, so for that we configure the net. In the net we configure the static net always. Okay. So how basically packet exchange happens? So see this packet is starting. So let we have a the public IP which is 54.44.88.99. This is the IP address which is configured in my which we got from the ISP. Okay. So the thing is that server sends the packet to us this IP address. Okay. So when this packet reach to the firewall. So basically that source and destination. Sorry, actually maybe yeah, that packet start from here. Source is this one and destination is this one. Actually, man, they actually this one this packet is going through this like this. So source is 54.49.89.99 and the destination is 72.6.6.15. That is the IP address where basically we host this server. Like in our diagram, I'll hosted this 10.2.2.100 on the IP address 192.168.1.150. Okay. So when this ASA firewall receive this packet, so basically this IP address 72.6.6.15 translated into the 172.16.30.15, which is the private IP address of this server. Okay. So basically this diagram illustrates like how the translation happens. Okay, between the real IP and the mapped IP address. I will also put you this links on that. You can also like I will just put this link in chat box so you can go through with this. Actually it has like nice explanation. And I'll also always use this link for learning the ASA concepts. There is a one link network Q&A something like this. Yeah, this one. In the last classes I will teach you. I will again tell you regarding these link how you can prepare for the interview because this network Q&A is very nice website for preparation of the interview point of view. So basically in Cisco ASA we have a two kind of net. First one is auto and the second one is manual. So basically the main difference in auto and manual, what happens, the way of configuration is totally different. Okay, auto net have a different way of configuration and the manual net have a different way of configuration. We have a lots of examples: static net, static pat, dynamic net, dynamic pat. Okay, advanced net also is there. These are the all advanced net: policy net, twice net, and the net precedence identity net. So these regarding identity net I will teach you in VPN classes because in VPN classes we usually use this identity net, and this policy net we are not using anymore. We always use the twice net in place of policy net. So here is something like network object. What is network object? Generally network object is a group of host networks and the fully qualified domain names. Means we can combine the IP addresses or either we can also combine the port numbers over there. And we have a two types of object: network object and the service object. Since service object basically we can include all the port numbers which is TCP, UDP and the protocol, that kind of things. If we want to write the object network, so we can use this way. For host, for network we can use this way, and if we want to define the range we can use this way. For service, same object service we can define the service ESP. That ESP protocol we use in VPN. Okay, we can also define the TCP. We also define the TCP as a source and destination. And anything else is there which can I tell you? Okay, let me back into my diagram again. So for as of now, what happens? Let me go to set setman. Let me again log in my server. Okay, so the thing is right now we are, if I want to ping this DMG server, so I'll just run this command. It is become little bit slow. 192.168.1.150. Okay, let me use the ISP for ping. All are going slow. My CPU is 94. Let me stop this device for now, and after it I'll go to into my ISP and I'll initiate the ping 192.168.1.150 with a repeat count of 10. So I'm getting access, okay. And if I'll go to in DMZ, sorry, I I run this debug IP ICMP and also debug TCP, debug TCP, debug IP TCP, yeah, TCP packets, okay. So again, if I ping from here, see, it is that ping is going to the DMZ server, okay. And if I'll run the telnet here for DMZ 192.168.1.150, telnet is also going. But what happens now? I want to go a specific for a specific things. The only telnet is allowed, and that ICMP is not allowed. Okay. So now I'm going to configure this kind of setup by using the net only. Okay. So if I go into my net statement, not this one. I want to go to here. I'll just copy this command. After it, I'll use the service keyword here, and I define the service which is TCP on port number 23, or we can write the 23 or we can write the telnet directly. We can also write this 23, both will work. Incomplete command. Okay, what I missing? Service TCP. Let me enter here what we have. We have a STP, TCP, and UDP. So I'll enter the TCP. After that, I'll enter the telnet again. So again, I'll use the telnet. And if I go to in my ISP router and again I just run this command, so I'm getting the access. Okay, I'll define 2 times telnet because because the thing is, for telnet access we have a source and destination port as a 23 at the both places. Okay, now if I again initiate the ping, now ping is not working. Okay, so that is the way we are now we are also doing the, we are also adding the port numbers in our net statement. Okay, and let me also run this command telnet on port number 80. Okay, it will also not work. So how I can like configure something else so it start working? So for that I'll also do one thing. I add one more that net rule. Okay, I'll use the same IP address. Okay, I'll just change the port number. This is 80 80. If I again go to and run this, see, it is trying to, that this it connection is open, means port is open, and we are also getting the log here. So that is the like verification we are doing right. Actually, I'll want to show you like that kind of things. I'll take the access of the server, but my whole VM host is not working, that Windows server. So maybe I need to install the DNC server over there. So I will fix this problem today, and I will show you all the like all configuration tomorrow. We will just take the access of these server from here. Okay. Or maybe I can do one thing. Let me add it. No, actually I need a VNC for that. Okay. So now what remains? So we are done with our auto net. Okay. So one part of net is completed. Now in next topic, let me tell you something about the access list. What kind of ACL we have in our ASA. Okay. Or do one thing. Let me complete the manual net. Okay. Manual net. I will start that ACL part from yesterday. Sorry, tomorrow. In manual net we have a like same kind of net. First one is dynamic net. First one is dynamic net. Then dynamic pet. So we use always dynamic pet. After that we have a static net and static pet. Okay. So now let me remove all the net configuration from ASN and I will configure the manual by using manual net, that pet and static net again. So run. I'll just no. Okay. So first we configure the pet by using twice net or manual net. Okay. So for that, let me create one object which is object network. I'll just write here manual pet and the subnet which is 00. Okay. Now I'll come into the global configuration mode. Here I enter the net statement. After that I'll use the keyword outside. Sorry, inside. Then outside. See here we have a three kind of thing. We can define this keyword for if we want to define the position of net. We have a after auto and the source here. Okay. After auto means by default that maximum priority is for that manual net. After it, all the net auto rules is come in the picture. Okay, if we have a like configuration of auto net and manual net in my ASA, so the thing is manual net takes the higher priority. After that, the auto net comes. So here, if we want to define that manual net below that auto net, so for that we use this keyword after auto. Generally, we use the manual net without any keyword, using without anything. Okay. So here I define the source. Source is dynamic, or we can define our object which I just now created, or we can take the any. Okay. So let me take the any keyword here. After that, I'll define the interface. Okay. Just enter. That is the configuration for PAT. So let me also verify. Let me run this command so exilate. So for now I have this thing here. So now let me start this inside host again. Let me open. Let me try to ping the 192.168.1.1. So I am able to ping. Okay. And if I'll go to in my ISP, this is my ISP. So let me just start the debug IP ICMP. So it is patting on an inter which is in IP address 192.168.250, which is the ASA outside interface IP address. Okay. So that is the way to configure PAT by using manual net. Okay. Now also let me configure the same manual static net for providing the access of our DMZ servers. So let me create the object for this object network DMZ, or I'll use this private IP. So I'll use this keyword host 10.2.2.100. After I just exit. Now let me also create the object group for that public IP address. Okay. Object network DMZ public IP, and host is 192.168. One dot. Let's suppose I am using now 110. Okay. So now I use this net DMZ2 outside. I'll just enter the question mark. I'll define the source. Now I want to use the static net. Static. So here I define the name of my DMZ server private IP address. Okay. Now I'll define the mapped IP address, which is the public IP of DMZ server. So I'll just copy this DMZ public. There is a one more space. So let me. So now let me just enter this command. Okay. And if I run the show exit here, so we have these entries here. Okay. So now if I go to into my server, enable, and I'll just initiate a ping to 192.168.1.110 with a repeat count of 10. Yeah, ping is working. And if I'll see the DMZ configuration, see, it is working, and the IP address of this server is 192.168.4.100. Now if I run the telnet is also working. Cisco, enable Cisco. If we want to see who is login, I'll just use this command who. See, I'm getting lots of here, lots of like TCP packets. Okay, this is the IP address of our peer. So that is the guy which is login. right now in my DMZ host. Same thing is here also. If I run the who here, who means who is login. Okay. Now let me exit. Exit. Now if I again go for telnet 10 192.168.1.150 on port number 80. So on port number 80 also it is working. Okay. So like that is the way to configure static net by using manual method. Okay. Let me do this and all. Okay. So that is the way. Any doubt or any question on this configuration as of now? Anyone? Okay. Good. So do you know what is port forwarding? Anyone knows that? What is the port forwarding? Anyone? Port forwarding means if we are this like generally we run telnet on 23 port number. Okay. But what happens if outside users want to get the telnet service, so if they access these on a port number 23, then that port is forwarded to the on a port number 23. That is the like port forwarding. Same for this HTTP service. Let's suppose sometime you see this one. We use this 8080 port for for HTTP service, but it is like forwarded onto the 80. So that is our next task. Okay. If I am running right now telnet service on 23 and the HTTP service on 80 within my DMZ server. So what happens when the outside users run this command on the file on the that console telnet 192.168.1.110 on a port number 23. That time they get the access of telnet service running on port 23 in DMZ server. Okay, so that is the next task. Generally in production, people using that kind of things usually because they don't run these that telnet, SSH, HTTPS services on a port which is publicly available or publicly known. Okay, they run this service on some other port. After that, they configure the port mapping on the firewall. So if our firewall get the access on port number 2300, so basically he just also do the translation for port numbers and he translate the port 23 this port into the this port 23. He just translate 2300 port on a 23. That is the port forwarding. Okay, that's port forwarding. Forwarding, WORD. Okay, so that is the next task, and this is the main difference between AutoNet and manual net. AutoNet, here we have a manual net. Port forwarding not possible with AutoNet. Okay. Port forwarding is possible on manual net. We can say manual static net. Same here. Auto static net. Okay, that is the like main difference between auto net and manual net. You remember this question because usually people ask this question in interview lots of time. So now if I want to do this type of configuration, so let me first remove my net rules. Let me remove this net rule. Okay. If I want to remove this net rule, just I'll put no, and after that I'll put this whole command. Okay. Let me create two service object type object is service dmz http on 80. Let me run this question mark here. So we have a service TCP here we have a two things, source and destination. Okay, source is equals to range. We can define the range. So let me define the destination as of now. Okay, because we need destination. Okay, eq 80 exit. Now let me again create a object for 8080. Oh sorry, this is my new object. Okay, now same for telnet service. DMG telnet on 23 service TCP destination equals to 23. Now let me add the net statement. Net DMZ to outside source static. Here we define our private network. Okay. So let me run this command. I actually forget the exact name. So run object DMZ public and DMZ private. Okay. Net DMZ to outside source static. Here we have a DMZ private. After that, I'll define DMZ public. So this is our real IP address, and this one is our mapped IP address. After that, I'll use the service. Okay. So in that service, I'll first call the actual service, which is my telnet 23, DMZ telnet 23. Now I call the mapped service. Okay. I also add one more route. I just change the services here. DMZ. We have a HTTP 8080. So actually that is the way to configure port forwarding. So if I run that this command packet tracer input from outside, okay. After that I'll define the port number, which is TCP. I'll just enter the source number, source port 192.168. Let's suppose 4.100. Source port is any 1234. Okay. After that I'll define the destination, which is 192.168 1.11.110, and our service. Okay. So I'll use the 23 here. It is dropping. Okay, sorry, actually I used wrong. Here I need to use the real IP address 10.2.2.100 and the real port number. That is the way to verify if our configuration is correct or not. Okay, if I'll you run this command for 80, this will also work. Okay, so now let me go into my server here. If I run use this port number 23, let me open my DMZ here. Enable Cisco debug IP TCP packets. It is not working because now that for outsiders we are running that DMZ service on a port number 2300. Okay. Okay, Sneha, I'll just drop this class. Okay, no worries. That guy is also living with me only, so I can inform him after that he will start. Let me finish this one. Okay, it takes hardly 5 minutes. So if I'll use the port number 23, so run net. So exit clear connection, clear exit, and let me now again run this command. Okay, guys, I think I need to troubleshoot this one. We will continue tomorrow with from the like same from same here. Okay, bye. एक मिनट रुक जा भाई.